if you don't tell the story, if you don't record the story, you'll never know. Right down through all of estate planning, like you plan till you're blue in the face. If you don't have a backstory to support it, there's no point in doing it.
Who's going to be the storyteller of your family story so that it can maintain? And if you're not taking up the charge, someone must. There's so many unknowns and certainly unexpected elements, but many of them occurred for you in a way that no one really could have predicted. Yeah. And the result is large influxes of capital came in to capitalize the business, take care of the tax problem. Because I would imagine when it was time to redeem those preferred shares, I don't know if you recall what the size of the tax problem was, but I'm guessing it wasn't a small problem.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely a huge problem. I mean, and quite honestly, we were lucky. It's interesting because when we started that first original whole life policy, and it had a pay. I mean, it had a death benefit of $2.1 million, right? Which we figured was enough to cover the taxes on those pref shares. But through the mechanisms of the estate planning, it turns out that we actually owed a lot more on the pref shares than we thought we did, and we're just lucky we were redeeming pref shares for as long as we were. It worked out in the end again. It's amazing how the world turns sometimes, because the timing wise, we redeemed enough pref shares that that policy did cover what we needed to cover within that realm, right? So it worked out exactly as planned. If it had passed 10 years earlier, no, we would not have been right. Right? There would have been a portion owing still, right? Which again, this is all within the company, right? There's always a hard part with these conversations, right? Like breaking out the buckets of what's business, what's personal. When you get down to that level that you're dealing with, and again, going down the will side, primary wills, secondary wills, and personal wills, corporate wills, however you want to label them, making sure you have those in place. You as a business owner, you need those. If your business is a going concern, you definitely need to make sure you break your personal life out from your business life. Like, you cannot just think that it's all going to go through on its own together. It's not going to work, right? So
I'm curious too, Shane, that what does your son not yet understand about the life that you're building, but that you hope he will someday?
Well, on the son's side, I mean, we talk a lot. I have one son. He's 60, just turned 16. So, he's knows more than I do. Obviously, he's 16, right? My great kid, awesome kid. And we're not like I'm obviously in my heart, I'm concerned, right? I mean, obviously as a parent, no parent wants to raise a child that's entitled. No parent wants to raise, a trust fund baby, right? Does he have, is his future bright? Yeah, it's pretty bright, right? But at the same time, like, we definitely don't hold it secret. But we're right now in our world, we definitely don't use figures, right?
No.
It's just that I don't believe some of the projections that I get told by our wealth advisors is that's impossible. But, at the same time, if the facts are the facts, the facts are the facts, right? So, I think we right now we have the conversations on the fundamentals and the basics and things like, hey, like going down the estate planning, we have conversations along the lines of, well, there's, and again, I'm spouting off a whole pile of different authors here, so I hope this is all right. But there's a book out there called In Defense of Wealth by Derek Bullen, and basically he's got this concept that I just think is amazing about buckets, right? There's my money, the money I need to live on as an individual. There's the children's money, which is basically the money that I'm going to give to them, whether it's while I'm live or when the estate planning rolls in. But then there's the family money, or in this case, the business money, right? And those are different conversations, right? That you can have. And so we talk with our son right now about my money and his money, like what, how it would work, or what, the mechanisms of why I do certain things, why I pay for life insurance, right? I have life insurance on him. Why do I pay for life insurance on him? Yes, It's not so I can, earlier on, he's like, well, so you can replace me. Well, that boat sailed, man. There's no replacing you. I'm sorry. Like, we closed that door. I closed that door quite a while ago. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. It's not to replace you. Honestly, in the near term is to deal with the fact that, it's explain tough having that conversation with your child, but also to say like, hey, like down the road, this is going to help you leapfrog ahead of the situation because you're not going to have to deal with this initial situation. You're going to have a policy that if you continue to fund, that I'm going to continue to fund. If you continue to fund throughout your life, theoretically, you don't need another policy. Not saying you shouldn't get another policy or policies or system of policies, but this one is going to be the backbone of everything that goes forward, right?
It's so important that you're having those discussions with him because Richard may have told you this in the many conversations that you both shared. So we are running into scenarios where parents, they started policies on their children when they were minor, and their children are now young adults, and they're gifting these policies, and the kids have no idea what they're receiving. They see a cash value line item and they say, surrender the policy, just give me the money. And the parents would have never wanted that to happen. It's an unintended consequence of handing over an asset without the supporting mentality. And it's heartbreaking anytime that we see that. And we're communicating, we're shouting from the rooftops to our entire database, like, please do not do that. Like you have no idea how frequently the recipient of that gift just says, surrender it, just give me the money. Because they don't understand what they were gifted.
Well, but it's the same thing it's the same thing as receiving an Xbox with no instructions and no access to the internet to find the instructions. Like, what are you going to do with that thing? You don't even know what it's worth. You don't even know what to do with it. You don't even know what it does. You might as well sell it because you can't operate it, right?
That's right.
And that goes back to, and we're still working on this within our family, but this goes back to creating a family code, right? And family values. And why did we do this? Well, and this also goes back to talking about the wills openly before you die, but do something that's actually going to go down through the generations and explain like why, like 5 generations down the road, if you're actually successful in doing waterfalling and you've got this generation going, well, why did great grandpa Stirling do this? Here you go. This is why. And if it's still working, why would you mess with it? Or maybe you tweak it, but don't break it. Don't sell it. Don't throw it out.
We have a ton more amazing conversations and great clips just like this if you go right here. Or if you want to watch the rest of this conversation, the full episode, click right here.